Hey guys, today I want to share with you a little bit about why losing money is worse than you think. The reason why is that most of the financial advisors in the media, they keep focusing you on these rates of return, these long-term things, everything else, which is absolutely true. I mean, there's dollar cost averaging and you do have to take risk to get reward, all these different things. But a lot of people, unfortunately, they get the focus put on these things and they then underestimate the power of losing money, which is especially true the closer you get to retirement. And once you begin retirement, these losses are even worse. And many people underestimate the power of losses. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about average rates of return, kind of how they work and how they focus, and compare that to making and losing money. So what I've got is I got a very simple illustration I show to clients on a regular basis. And we're going to have an invest off. So I've got $100,000. And I'm going to give you $100,000, so you're welcome. And we're going to have an invest off where, I know it's kind of unfair because I'm a financial advisor and a fiduciary and I do this full time. Actually, even more importantly, though, than my financial, licenses, etc., is the fact that my best friend's former roommate in college used to have an uncle who knew a guy who worked on the floor in Wall Street. So I kind of got the inside track on this whole stock market thing. Okay, so I'm going to take our money right here and I'm going to put my money on one side and your money on the other. So I've got my 100 grand right here, and we've got your 100 grand over here. All right, and let's see here, I'll go with 100K. So I talked to this friend who's out on the floor in Wall Street, whatever, and he tells me about this incredible company that's absolutely exploding. It's been doing incredibly well the last several years, and it's looking even better. And so I invest all my money in this great company he tells me about. It's this little company called Enron. Perhaps you've heard of them. And so Enron then starts tanking and losing all of its money. Now I get out before they go all the way down. I only lose 50%, right? And now you're going, well, shoot, I'm so glad that I didn't do that, because you, on the other hand, once I gave you this 100 grand, didn't know what to do with it. You set it up on your dresser when you got home, and then you just stuffed it into your sock drawer saying, hey, I'll get around to doing something with that soon. And the whole year flies by and it's in your sock drawer and you made 0%. Now, you're feeling pretty good about yourself because you didn't lose 50%, but what you don't understand is that you have to take risk to get reward. It'll come back, and I understand this is just part of the risk-reward ratio that I'm taking. And so this very, very next year, I go back to that friend who got me that bad stock pick last year, but I decided to talk to him again anyways, and he tells me about this incredible new industry that has seen 1,000% gains in it. And I don't get 1,000% gains. This industry is called medicinal marijuana, and I happen to jump into here, and I don't make 1,000, but I do make 60%. Okay, so I make a 60% gain. You, on the other hand, just found the best CD in the marketplace out there, and you got a 5% return on your money. And here's the thing, though. I lost 50, I made 60, so I'm actually back to whole. Not only back to whole, I'm up 10%. Let's go ahead and see who made more money overall. So the way we're going to do this is finding the average. The way you find an average is very simple. You add up all the numbers, and you divide by the number of numbers. So minus 50, right? This is a minus 50, plus 60 gives us 10. Okay, 10 divided by 2 gives us a 5% average. Okay, over here you have 0 plus 5. That gives you 5 divided by 2. That is a 2.5% average. The question is, which would you rather have, a 5% average or a 2.5% average? Of course, we want the 5% average because that's how we make more money. We understand, yes, we take losses, but over the long term, this really pays off. We'd rather have a 5% average. Except for, this is not as accurate as it seems, because watch what happens when you follow the money. Ignore the rate of return and pay attention to the money. If you have 100 grand and you lose 50%, how much money do you have left? You've got 50 grand, right? Now, when you make 60%, you aren't making 60% on 100 grand, you're making 60% on 50 grand. So half of 50 grand is only 25, a little bit more, we'll call it 30. So that means you made 30 grand. So that means you end the day with 80K. You start with 100, you got a 5% positive average return, and you ended with $80,000. Compare that to over here, you had 100 grand, you had 100 grand when you made nothing. When you made 5% the next year, you had 105 grand. Now here's the question. Would you rather have a 5% rate of return or a 2.5% rate of return? This is why losing money is one of the worst things you can do with it, because it takes you a larger gain to get back to even. This is one of the things I have to educate clients on a regular basis. Now, I'm not saying that the stock market is bad, but understanding the type of risk you're willing to take and the age at which you're willing to take those risks is very, very important, because the closer we get towards retirement, the less we're able to handle these types of losses. And once we enter retirement, we are even less able to handle these types of losses because we no longer have the time to recover. So understanding how powerful losing money is and why it's so important to protect some portion of your money to be able to handle these things when your other money is going down, you have some protected money. That's such an important part of a strategy. And if advisors are not talking to you about it, it's because they're having this conversation with their stock market buddies who just say the stock market's always the best thing, always, ever, which is fantastic, except for it's kind of like having only one tool. Everything begins to look like a nail if the only tool you're swinging is a hammer, which doesn't work very good for screwing in light bulbs. So just understanding the power of losing money and how important it is to protect that is going to be very, very important, guys. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Throw down a like or a subscribe or drop some comments below. Thanks so much.